Hello and welcome to day 9 of Sun Salutations. With me, I'm Laren of Yellow Umbrella Yoga. As you may guess from the lighting behind me, I thought we might take today's sequence a little softer to kind of honor the strength we've been building and take some slight restoration and just finding a new, softer way to modify the sequence. One prop that I recommend having if you have anything available is any kind of sports band or strap, yoga strap. I happen to have just a nice little stretchy elastic band on hand today. If you don't have either of those items, that's okay. You can use a waist belt like you would wear for clothing to hold up your pants. You can totally use one of those. Or also just a towel or like a hand towel can be helpful for this. Or you can just follow along with nothing but you. That's totally fine. Join me on the mat. We'll begin laying down on your back. So like I said, this is day 9. We've done some good work so far this month. Thought we might take some time to restore just a little bit. So take a moment laying down, first to say hi to my cat. Hey, Jag. To begin to feel heavy. Take your feet wide, knees are bent facing the ceiling. Let the pinky edge of your feet come to the outer edges of your mat. And let your knees fall together in center. You can rest one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Just notice the natural rise and fall as you begin to pay attention to your breath. You can let your breath make noise so that you can hear it softly, kind of restricting the back of your throat as though to whisper. This is often called ocean breath or your ujjayi breath. Take 3 more breaths. Tapping into your own rhythm today. Just appreciating yourself for taking this time to set up wherever you are and to just dedicate these 30 minutes to you. Separate your knees, keep them bent. On your next exhale, let your knees soften to the left. It doesn't have to go all the way to the floor. Just kind of windshield wipering your shins from side to side. Inhaling through center, exhaling other side. You can bring your head into this too. So as your knees come through center, your face looks towards the sky. And as your knees go to the right, your face can look to the left. Remembering to breathe. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees to left, face to the right. Exhale to the other side now. Nice. Just like yesterday, make goalposts with your arms, taking your elbows out wide moving anything around you that might be in your way. Lift your knees towards your chest as though you're sitting in a chair on your back. So your knees are bent at about a right angle, 90-degree angle. Same thing. Exhale, lower your knees toward the right, gluing both shoulders to the mat. Press into your elbows and forearms and the backs of your hands and fingernails. This helps stabilize you. Return to center. And exhale, press into your goalpost arms on both elbows as you lean your knees toward the left. Find your rhythm. Inhale to center. Exhale, knees toward the right. Again, you don't have to go to the floor here. Inhale through center. Exhale to lower. Other side. One more time each side. Your pace. Give your knees a hug. Wrap your arms around your shins. Press your eye sockets into your kneecaps. Exhale, stretch long on your mat. Reach your arms overhead. Dig your heels into the floor. Become heavy. Keep pressing your heels into the mat. Let your toes be flexed towards your shins so they point towards 12 o'clock, straight up towards the sky. Inhale, reach long overhead with your arms. And lift your arms like a zombie to reach them toward the sky. Pressing both palms upward as though you're going to stamp your handprints on the ceiling. Use your left hand to softly, gently tug your right fingertips back towards your face, towards your forearm, getting a nice stretch in the underside of your wrist. Remember to breathe. And switch hands. Use your right hand to tug your left fingers back towards your face, palm facing towards the sky. Exhale, release that. Make fists and just take a couple of little wrist circles with both hands, going both directions. Reach your hands overhead again, bringing maybe the backs of your hands to the floor. Think tall thoughts even though you're laying on the floor. Reach out as long as you can from fingertips to toes. Take a deep, long breath in through your nose. And as you slowly exhale, lift your arms like Frankenstein once again, but let them keep lifting. Let your shoulders lift now, slowly sitting up, reaching towards your toes in slow motion. You can keep your knees bent, letting pockets of air underneath as much as you need as you reach forward. No need to ask too much of the hamstrings this morning or afternoon, wherever you are. Exhale, see if you can soften into a fold. You can hold on to your feet if you have long arms like me that reach there, or you can just keep reaching toward your toes. Your fold might look like this. Your fold might look like this. Just honor your body's limits today. Your fold does not have to look any specific way. Wherever you are, exhale there. See if you can soften 3% more. As you inhale, heel back down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time, reaching forward with your hands still to counterbalance, helping you to slow this down. And just glue your spine back down on the mat. And keep reaching till your hands reach overhead, laying on the floor again. Let's do that again. Inhale, hands lift. Reach to start sitting up. Slowly reaching, using your abs to help you sit up. Keep reaching towards your toes. Keep reaching. Find your edge and exhale there. Finish your exhale there. Hopefully you're not holding your breath. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins or your lap. Just sit up right in center. Think about rooting your hip points, your sit points down into the mat and growing taller out of the crown of your head. Exhale, pour your belly into your lap. Knees can still bend as much as you'd like. Reach toward your toes. Nice. Inhale, come back. Heel back down, lay back down, one vertebrae at a time. Reaching as much as you need to help you. Laying down, reaching hands overhead again. Deep breath in. Heavy breath out. Inhale to lift your hands. Reach like a zombie. Begin to sit up. Exhale as you fold and reach towards your toes. You can rest your hands on the ground on either side of your legs or feet. Inhale to half lift. Come to seated. Hands to shins or lap. Think tall thoughts in this sitting position. And exhale, lead with your heart. Reach toward your toes. Dig your heels into the mat. Getting some nice sweet stretches in the backs of the legs. Roll back down, lay back down. Nice, rest here for just a couple of breaths. Notice how those movements feel similar to, and at the same time different from, the movements we've been doing for the last 8 days. That was a lot like Sun Salutation A, but we took that one lying down and without any added vinyasa sequence for building extra warmth. So now we'll move into a soft version still of Sun Salutation B. We're still going to take this one on the floor. So if you'd like, I maybe should have mentioned this earlier on, you can grab a blanket or a towel so that you have something to kneel on. If your knees would like a little extra cushion. When you're ready, make your way onto your belly. Just roll right over. Taking any wiggles or stretches you need to adjust. Stacking palms face down, rest your forehead. Take a breath here. When you're ready, handprints come underneath shoulders to press you up, sending your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. Let your knees be wide and your feet come together behind you. Reach your arms forward and lower your face to the mat. Feel your breath spill over your spine, rising on the inflate. Exhaling, deflating growing heavy. Inhale, come up to hands and knees for tabletop. From here, keep your fingers spread wide and pressing into the mat. All your knuckles and finger pads are glued down. But peel your palms up. Your thumbs may come with them, and that's okay. So we'll do some little kind of wrist push-ups, just lifting the arms and shoulders straight up from the mat, as though we're standing on our toes, but on our hands. So just stand up on your fingertips. And it's okay if your palms don't come up as high as mine. I can be a little double jointed sometimes. Yours might just be little baby lifts like this. Do this 25, 50 times, depending on how quickly you feel like moving. This is just to warm up the forearms and build a little wrist strength. We've asked a lot of them this month so far, doing downward facing dog and chaturangas and sun salutations that include vinyasas can just ask a lot of our wrists. So we're not going to ask so much of them today. This is just a little extra strength building boost to carry us through for whatever may come on day 10 of sun salutations tomorrow. When you're done, when you feel complete with that, press your handprints fully into the mat again. Press the back of your neck toward the ceiling, lengthening your neck. And on your next inhale, tip your hips forward, letting your belly become heavy, finding cow pose. Exhale, tuck your tail. Find cat, rounding through your back, tucking your chin. Find your breath. Pair the movement at your pace. Inhale, tip your pelvis forward, let your belly sink toward the mat. And look at the floor in front of your hands as you press your head towards the ceiling behind you. Exhale, tuck your tail. Round through your spine, press the floor away with both hands and tuck your chin for cat pose. One more round. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale, lift your right foot long behind you, flexing your toes towards your shin so they still point toward the floor. As you exhale, tuck your knee in towards your chest, stepping it between your hands, coming to a low lunge with your back knee still on the floor. Keep ooching your front foot forward until your ankle is right underneath your knee. Notice how my knee is kind of right under my chest, almost supporting the weight of my torso. And my ankle is right underneath my knee. When I first stepped forward, it looked a little different. See that? So just keep ooching that little front stepper forward until you find a nice pillar of support in the front. Toes still pointed straight ahead. From here, keep your front foot glued to the mat. Instead of a warmth building vinyasa, we're just gonna add a little love for the femoral nerve and hamstrings today. So shift your hips back, still pressing into that front foot's toes. Again, your leg may not straighten all the way here. It's okay if your knee has a bend in it. When you can't lengthen your leg anymore, press into your front right heel and lift your toes, sort of dragging against the friction of the mat with that heel as it's dug in. Does that make sense? Now slow motion, step it back forward, find your lunge. When your foot is flat, press into the front foot and your back knee. Find a warrior one, kneeling. So there's no need to be concerned with what direction your back toes are facing, since we're using our back knee like our foot this time. So just let this be a nice, soft, low lunge. Exhale your hands to the mat, frame your right foot, and send it back to meet the left. Find your tabletop again. Taking time to find alignment. Exhale your hips to your heels. Take a child's pose. Bring your elbows to the mat. Let them drag your heart forward. Shifting hips forward as well. Coming up for tabletop once more. Inhale to lift your left leg this time, long behind. Take a big step forward between your hands. And same thing, ooch your shin forward until you have a nice column, vertical column of support there. Ankle right underneath the knee. Press into your front grounded foot, keeping your toes glued down. Shift your hips back, lengthening that entire front leg. And then peel the toes up, digging the heel in, walking back maybe a little more. Flexing your toes towards your face. And walk hands back forward as you step that foot back to the mat, coming into your low lunge again. Press into your front foot to lift your hands, reach high overhead for a kneeling warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat, frame your front foot. Send it back to meet the other, find your tabletop. Take one more round of cat-cow. Inhale, tip your hips forward. Stretch your belly. Take cow pose. Exhale, tuck your tail, round your back. Press into the tops of your feet. Press the mat away with your hands and tuck your chin for cat. Bring it down for child's pose. Nice. And once more, just roll right over. Come to lay down on your back again. If you have a strap handy, like I mentioned at the beginning of class, now would be the time to grab it. And just bring the middle of your right foot, we'll start with the right, to the middle of your strap or hand towel or belt or whatever you're working with today. If you don't have a strap or similar prop handy, that's okay. Just extend your right leg long right here. So flex your toes of your lifted foot towards your face as they are going to stamp your footprint on the ceiling. And this is enough. You don't have to press, you don't have to have a strap to pull. You can just press that heel toward the ceiling and kind of oscillate between softly, mindfully bending the knee, bringing it towards your armpit, and slow motion stamping that foot towards the ceiling, on the ceiling, if you will. If you have a strap, take it with enough tension that it helps your arms stay extended long, but so you're just kind of hanging out here. This helps to kind of add to what gravity is already doing for us here and sort of settle the femur into the hip socket. Take a couple breaths here, feeling all the places of sensation. Maybe there's a stretch in the back of your calf or in your hamstring. Once again, it's okay to have a soft bend in your knee, just like mine has today. My hamstrings are a little tight and they don't want to go much straighter than that. So I'll just kind of pedal them out a little bit. Pressing that foot away, toggle it across your midline. So your right foot lifted comes over towards your left. This may only be like a 3-inch movement, maybe 6 inches. You're not necessarily going to twist and come into a full rotation here. We're trying to keep the right hip grounded. And once again, the strap just kind of helps you create resistance, so you're not relying on all your leg muscles for the stability here, allowing for more restoration. Take a breath in, release any holding of that pose, and bring that foot back to the mat. Extend your right leg long. Notice the difference between sides. And when you're ready, bend your left knee, extend it long so your left footprint moves toward the ceiling. Flex your toes towards your shin and face, keeping this lifted leg active. And once again, you can just bend your knee towards your armpit and then press your heel away towards the ceiling. Sort of pulsing in a intentional stretch here. If you have your band or belt, wrap it around the middle of your left foot now. And find that same point of tension where you can just reach long with your arm and take hold of the strap right there. Just letting the weight of your arm add to gravity, settling your left femur now into your hip socket. You can still oscillate between bending the knee and pressing the foot away, pressing the heel toward the ceiling. Bending, maybe exhaling to press it away. Next time it's lengthened long, shift it over to the right, crossing the midline. You might feel this on the outside of your thigh. This can be a good IT band stretch. But once again, this is a small movement. You don't need to cross the midline dramatically. Just a little bit, keeping the hip grounded, both hips grounded. Really press your heel away, give your toes one more flex. Ooh, take a breath in. And release that effort. Remove your band from your foot. Give your knees a hug. And if you'd like, you can roll up to toe balance, just like yesterday. Woo! You can also fall down. You got options. Thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow.